Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the biggest wealth opportunity of your lifetime is happening right now. Not for billionaires, not for Wall Street insiders, not for people with huge connections, but for regular people, teachers, students, small business owners, people working 9-to-5 jobs. The last time something like this happened, thousands of ordinary individuals quietly became millionaires. Some invested a few $100s. Some simply paid attention earlier than others, and some just understood what was changing in the world. Today, many experts believe we may be standing at the beginning of another similar moment, a moment where technology, economics, and global change are colliding, and if history repeats itself even partially, the people who recognize this early may experience life-changing financial opportunities. In this video, we'll explore what happened the last time ordinary people became millionaires, the patterns behind those wealth explosions, why analysts believe something similar may be happening again, and how regular people position themselves before the boom. Let's begin. The pattern of wealth explosion through history. Wealth doesn't grow evenly. It grows in waves. Most of the time, money moves slowly, but occasionally a major shift happens. A new technology appears, a new market opens, a financial system changes. Suddenly, people who recognize the shift early benefit enormously. Think about the Industrial Revolution. It created fortunes for factory owners and engineers. The oil boom made early investors incredibly wealthy. Real estate expansions and growing cities turned many ordinary property owners into millionaires. But one of the most interesting examples happened much more recently. The internet boom. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, the internet wasn't what it is today. Many people thought it was just a trend. Some believed it would disappear, but those who understood its potential saw something different. They saw a global transformation beginning, and they positioned themselves accordingly. The dot-com opportunity. In the mid-1990s, internet companies were tiny, websites were simple, online shopping barely existed, social media had not even been imagined. But early entrepreneurs started building companies, small online bookstores, simple search engines, basic digital marketplaces. At the time, these ideas sounded strange. Why would people buy things online? Why search the internet instead of using libraries? Why communicate through websites? But then something incredible happened. The internet exploded. Millions of people went online, businesses started moving onto the web, and companies that once looked small suddenly became giants. People who invested early in technology, companies saw their investments grow dramatically. Some people turned a few $1,000s into millions, others joined early stage companies and received stock that later became extremely valuable. Many ordinary employees, not just founders, became wealthy. Receptionists, engineers, customer support workers, because they happened to be in the right place during a massive technological shift. The smartphone revolution. A similar moment happened again during the rise of smartphones. Before smartphones, phones were mainly used for calls and text messages, but once powerful mobile devices appeared, everything changed. Apps were born, entire industries appeared almost overnight: ride-sharing, mobile gaming, food delivery platforms, digital payments. Entrepreneurs who built apps early captured massive markets. Some developers created simple mobile games that earned millions of dollars. Investors who backed early mobile companies saw enormous returns. Even content creators on new platforms built huge audiences and successful businesses. Once again, ordinary people benefited, not just billionaires, because technological revolutions create entirely new economic spaces, and when new spaces open, early participants often gain the biggest rewards. What these wealth waves have in common. When we analyze these historical moments, we notice several common patterns. The first pattern is the appearance of a powerful new technology: the internet, smartphones, electric vehicles, artificial intelligence. New technologies change how people live, work, and spend money, and wherever attention goes, money eventually follows. Another pattern is that most people ignore the opportunity. At the beginning, early internet companies were mocked. Smartphones were once considered unnecessary. Electric cars were dismissed for years. At the start of every transformation, The majority of people remain skeptical. This skepticism creates opportunity for early adopters. Another pattern is rapid acceleration. Once adoption begins, growth becomes explosive, users multiply, companies scale quickly, investors rush in. Those who entered early often find themselves holding extremely valuable assets. Perhaps the most interesting pattern is that ordinary people participate. Wealth waves don't only benefit elites, they benefit participants, employees, developers, creators, small investors, entrepreneurs, people who simply engage with the new ecosystem early. Why? Many believe another wave is beginning today. Several emerging industries are showing the same early signals seen in past wealth waves: artificial intelligence, automation, digital assets, green energy, biotechnology. These sectors are still evolving, but many analysts believe they could reshape the global economy over the next decade. Artificial intelligence is already transforming industries. I can write text, generate images, analyze data, and automate tasks. Companies across the world are investing billions of dollars into AI infrastructure. Entirely new categories of businesses are forming, just like during the early days of the internet. Some experts believe we may currently be in the early stage of an AI revolution, which means the biggest growth could still be ahead. How ordinary people position themselves. When we study the people who benefited from past wealth waves, we notice something important. They didn't necessarily predict the future perfectly. Instead, they followed several simple behaviors. They stayed curious. They paid attention to new technologies and emerging trends. They learned early, before something became mainstream. They were already exploring it. They participated. They didn't just watch from the sidelines. They experimented. They built things. They invested carefully. They joined new industries. Most importantly, they understood that big opportunities often look uncertain in the beginning. When something feels completely safe and obvious, the biggest gains are usually already gone. The mindset that creates opportunity. Not every new technology creates millionaires. Many startups fail, many ideas disappear, but history shows that when major economic transformations occur, they create enormous opportunities for those who engage with them early. The key is not blind risk. The key is awareness and learning, understanding where the world is heading, developing skills in growing industries, and staying open to change instead of resisting it, because the future rarely rewards those who ignore transformation. It rewards those who prepare for it. Final thought: last time something like this happened, thousands of ordinary people quietly became millionaires, not because they were lucky, not because they were already rich, but because they paid attention to a shift that most people overlooked. Right now, the world is changing again. Technology is evolving faster than ever. New industries are forming. New opportunities are appearing. The real question isn't whether another wealth wave will happen. History suggests it almost certainly will. The real question is this: who will recognize it early, and who will only realize it after the opportunity has already passed?